An investigation is underway in Wolfe County after a body was found in a wooded area.
Absolutely gorgeous weather again today across central and eastern Kentucky. We'll track how long the fall feel stays with us just ahead.
A day before a new semester starts and police are investigating a shooting near the UK campus.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4.
Welcome to WKYT News at 4. I'm Amber Philpott. Jennifer has the day off. The weather out there is about as good as you can get at this point at the time of year, with a fall-like feel for sure. Take a look. This is a live picture now of downtown Lexington. The good news for all of us, this beautiful weather is going to be sticking around all week long across the area. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Amber. One of those days where a lot of folks out there with a little extra pep in the step with the beautiful conditions out there. We started out the day, though, on a very chilly note. It is still August after all. Look at the lows this morning. We, right on cue, hit those upper 40s for the first time this late summer, early fall season. Mount Sterling, Liberty, down into Campbellsville, E-Town, all into the 40s. Moorhead, Cynthiana at 50. Most areas upper 40s to low 50s for those morning lows. Beautiful look outside right now in Lexington. You've got a mix of sun and some clouds going on. Those temperatures that are mainly now into the low 70s. That's right, low 70s, when we should normally be in the middle 80s right now. And this is with full sunshine. It's barely getting out of the 60s here in the parts of northern Kentucky. We've got this big area of low pressure still spinning across southern parts of Canada. High pressure to our west. The flow in between is coming from the northwest, and that is giving us the very nice conditions. A lot of clouds. Whenever you see a satellite that looks like this, you know you've got a lot of cold air aloft and at the surface, and that's what we're dealing with, especially for areas to our north. Fall feel is going to continue for a little while, about as good as it gets. I'm working on at least a couple of changes, Amber, as we go into your weekend forecast. We'll break those changes down when I come back here in 15 minutes.
Chris, thank you. Police have opened a death investigation in eastern Kentucky. We first told you last night at 11 about human remains found in the Daniel Boone National Forest. A man's body was found in a wooded area just off of Highway 3039 near Campton. Now police are trying to figure out if it's a missing man from northern Kentucky. WKYT Sam Smith is in Wolfe County with the latest. It's our top story at 4.
The Wolfe County Search and Rescue Team was able to go into the ravine and recover the body. The coroner's office has not told us the deceased's identity, but family members and search and rescue officials have. George Neese has been missing since last Wednesday. His fiancée told me they're from northern Kentucky and were only in the area to handle the funeral arrangements for Neese's nephew. In an effort to help police find him, someone told police that this ravine near the home Neese and his fiancée were staying in is a popular place for people to travel through. Some people use it as a shortcut to walk from Russell Drive to the Mountain Parkway. More than 15 search and rescuers were out here looking for Neese yesterday afternoon. They found his body at the base of a waterfall.
Within a 1 hour period of time, we'd identified the subject. He'd actually fallen from a 40-foot or 45-foot waterfall.
His family tells me his funeral arrangements are still pending. In Wolfe County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
And the family says that when those arrangements are complete, they will need some help paying for that funeral. A party near the UK campus turned violent overnight, triggering a safety alert. Police were called to a home on University Avenue around 2 this morning. Police say 3 men asked to get inside the party but were told no, and that's when they say the men then hit someone in the head with a fence post and fired shots as they ran away.
It was like all good vibes, and then there was like a ton of people here, like as you know. And it just got really chaotic and out of hand, like very quick, and like gunshots were fired like in the air.
No one was hit by gunfire. The person hit with a fence post went to UK hospital for stitches. We'll have more on this story ahead on WKYT News at 5. We have learned a man involved in an early morning crash in Lexington has died. The coroner identified the victim as 43-year-old Lazarick Deshaun Givens. Police say he lost control of his SUV on West Maxwell Street just before 3 this morning. Givens' car then hit a telephone pole and a concrete wall. Police think speed and alcohol were factors in that crash. Some bad news for the UK football team. Less than 2 weeks before a new season kicks off, and 2 players have been ruled ineligible. Both Courtney Love, a linebacker, and Greg Hart, a tight end, were applying for hardship waivers. Love and Hart were redshirt freshmen in 2014 and will have 2 years of eligibility remaining. Coach Mark Stoops said UK would appeal the ruling for Love, but all appeals for Hart have been exhausted. We are working on a number of other stories for you on WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us now from the newsroom to look at some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Amber. A warning today from police in a central Kentucky community. Be on the lookout for a bogus beggar. Lancaster police say the man is claiming to need help, but they say he's running a scam and has already ripped off several people. Police say they are in the process of drawing up arrest warrants for the man, whom they are not identifying at this time, only giving us a description and warning you not to give to him. We're told the man is about 6 feet tall. He drives a Jeep with front end damage. His story has changed several times, but his pitch is that he needs money to go see his sick father, to attend his father's funeral, or to get to Georgetown. Police say what he is doing is illegal.
Perpetrating a fraud on a charitable need basis, and there is no charitable need, available, and that is a crime in Kentucky, and crimes like this tend to make people not want to give to legitimate charities. He is not a legitimate charity.
Police say the man is not approaching people at random, usually just people or businesses that he suspects will feel sorry for him and give him cash. When the man is caught and charged, he will face a misdemeanor. We'll have more on the story on WKYT News coming up at 5:30. This Saturday marks 10 years since the Hurricane Katrina disaster. Hurricane Katrina was the costliest natural disaster as well as one of the deadliest in the history of the United States. Today on WKYT News at 5:30, members of the Kentucky Fish and Wildlife team are recalling a trip to help and what it was like to experience a disaster. That's a quick look at some of the news in progress. Amber, back to you.
Sam, thank you. Now to stories making headlines across the nation at 4. The latest buzzwords on the 2016 campaign trail are causing a mix of controversy for one GOP candidate in particular. Jeb Bush recently used the words anchor baby while discussing immigration. The phrase is generally used to describe children born in the U.S. to non-citizens in order to secure them legal residency. Sharice Pham explains how the words are causing more controversy for the former Florida governor.
Do you have a better term?
Anchor babies. It's a term that's starting to weigh down the Republican presidential field. The latest misstep comes from Jeb Bush at the U.S.-Mexico border. Asked if he was worried using the term anchor babies, considered offensive by many Latinos, could cost him the Hispanic vote, Bush said this.
And frankly, it's more related to Asian people coming into our country, having children.
Frontrunner Donald Trump slammed Bush on Twitter this morning, saying Asians are very offended and that Bush was trying to be more politically correct to Hispanics.
Of course, we were horrified that they would start framing the entire, the Asian American community using the derogatory term of anchor babies.
While Trump, Bush, and other Republican candidates have used the term, some have stayed away.
I just don't think calling human beings names ever is helpful.
The left has seized on the controversy, with Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton suggesting other terms to use besides anchor babies, tweeting, "How about babies, children, or American citizens?"
Thank you all for being here.
Bush today staying away from the controversial term, saying at a town hall,
I was talking about a very narrow-casted system of fraud where people are bringing pregnant women in to have babies to get birthright citizenship.
Using the term anchor baby seems to have had no negative effect on Trump's standing. A new poll of South Carolina Republicans shows the business mogul leading the GOP pack by double digits. In Washington, I'm Sharice Pham reporting.
CBS News is reporting that President Obama has given Vice President Joe Biden the green light to consider running for the White House. Political experts say Biden's family could play the biggest role in his decision-making. The current frontrunner in the Democratic race, Hillary Clinton, continues to deal with fallout over the use of her private email server while she served as Secretary of State.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
There are some safety concerns about newer Jeep SUVs. Regulators are looking into more than a dozen complaints that the vehicles can actually roll away unexpectedly after drivers put them in park. The investigation covers more than 400,000 Grand Cherokees from 2014 and 2015. At this point, the vehicles are not being recalled. In general, it seems Americans are sick of all the recent car recalls. Automakers recalled a record 64 million vehicles last year. A new survey finds Americans are less satisfied with cars and trucks than at any point in the past decade. When you buy something with a lifetime warranty, you might expect it's going to last a lifetime. But as Julie Watts explains, customers and retailers don't always agree on the definition of lifetime.
Jimmy Ip didn't expect his blinds to last forever, but he did expect he'd be able to get them fixed as long as he owned them. After all, they came with a limited lifetime warranty.
And when I saw lifetime, I thought, hey, this is a great deal. I'll buy this blind and I can not have to worry about it for lifetime ownership.
But when Ip contacted Just Blinds, he got a surprise. That lifetime warranty was only good for 5 years, or as the email explains, the lifetime of the average blind. He'd had his for 7.
It was kind of deceitful to me.
A lifetime warranty cannot just mean 5 years, because that would be a 5-year warranty.
And consumer advocate and former Assistant Attorney General Edward Dworsky says if they use the term lifetime, the company has to define whose lifetime they mean. The product warranty on Just Blind's website says they're covered if, quote, service is ever needed. But when we contacted the company, they pointed us to a second 3-year warranty description buried several clicks deep in every product description. Jimmy Ip says he's now looking more carefully at warranties to avoid being blindsided. Now, Just Blind says it wants nothing more than for him to be completely satisfied and has agreed to replace those blinds. Meanwhile, FTC regulations require that warranty information be located in or near the product description. For CBS News, Julie Watts, San Francisco.
Fun. It is a day packed full of food, fun, and music. Deanne Stevens is out and about today with a preview of the Moon Tower Music Festival.
Yeah, she joined us now from Masterson Station Park with all of the fun stuff. Hi, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. We are here at Masterson Station Park, where you will see this place taken over by people enjoying the Moon Tower Music Festival. You guys did this last year. Kaylin Query is with us. Kaylin, this is a whole lot of fun for folks.
Yeah, we're really excited. So we outgrew the space last year. We've got 2 stages this year, 18 bands, even more people, even more food, lots of fun. It's going to be a good time.
Isn't it always fun when you put food and people and music together, my dear?
Absolutely. And it's kid-friendly, dog-friendly. Critter sitters will be here for lots of great things for your pet, and kids under 17 are free with an adult supervision, of course.
Okay, so we have some folks out here that are kind of showing what cornhole is all about. This is one of the many activities. It's not one of those supervised things where people show up and they're scheduled here and there. They can just come out and enjoy the day.
Absolutely. Gates open at 10, music's from 11 to 11, so they can make their own schedule. None of the bands overlap. You can make your own food schedule, your own drink schedule, come and go. You know, inside the festival you can't leave, but you can, you know, come as you please. So play a game and then go see a set and grab something to eat, and you can kind of make your own path.
How much are the tickets?
Tickets are $50. You can get them on the website, moontowermusicfestival.com.
All right, it is happening this weekend, this Saturday here at Masterson Station Park. Be a part of the fun. Coming up at 4:50, we got some great music that you're going to be able to hear this weekend here at the park. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about preparing for the Moon Tower Music Festival. Back to you guys.
It is time now for better living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Back-to-school butterflies are perfectly normal, but some children experience serious anxiety when a new school year begins. A study of 400 parents found most students feared homework and standardized tests, but social pressures can also affect your child, from kindergartners to high schoolers. One mental health expert says simply watching and listening is the best way to spot anxiety. She adds that validating concerns can help, as well as offering some problem solving. As you prepare your last summer cookout, Consumer Reports has some not so tasty news. Consumer Reports discovered E. coli and bacteria in all 300 packages of ground beef it recently tested. Most of the contamination was found in beef from cows treated with antibiotics. 80% of that meat tested positive for at least 2 types of bacteria. A new survey suggests young breast cancer survivors are making treatment decisions based on concerns about having children. Doctors at the University of Michigan tracked more than 500 women treated for breast cancer. 1/3 refused the drug tamoxifen, which can reduce the chances of cancer coming back because of fertility concerns. Long-term use of aspirin or NSAIDs pain relievers may cut the risk of colorectal cancer. That's according to scientists in Denmark. They found aspirin use over 5 years was associated with cutting the risk by 27%. For NSAIDs, it was up to 45%. And researchers in Oregon found corticosteroid shots don't help patients all that much when it comes to back pain or avoiding surgery.